and I heard it. It's like,
I know, but you told me that.
Well, that was a late reaction.
Oh, it was.
yeah.
Hello, Julie.
Hello, everybody.
Hi there.
I don't think mine's working. You there? You there? You there?
Hello.
Sergeant? What contract? They don't have contracts, they're just union.
Union too.
It should be on. Do they want?
I know. Why do you want to turn on the speaker?
They're on there.
Because mine's probably dead.
Hello. I'm just, oh, mine's not.
By the battery.
Mine have a battery?
That's what
Mine
I
doesn't have a battery.
Yours might be battery over here.
That's why I don't want. Yeah, I don't have
There's
a
no one
battery.
there. I don't know if it's that one over there, 'cause that is.
They need the battery.
That's your battery.
Okay. Julie, can you hear us now?
Yes, that's better.
Oh, I talked about it anyway.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and call the city council special meeting for Friday, May 23rd, 2025 at 6 p.m. Okay, I'm sorry, can we hit roll call, please?
Councilmember Caponetta,
Here.
Councilmember Totaro,
Here.
Councilmember Alvarado,
Here.
Councilmember Zavala. Here. And Councilmember De La Fuente.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and go on to 3 for our active agenda. The approval of resolution 2025 12, authorizing the mayor to provide a hiring bonus in the amount of 5,000 to the existing lateral officer Rodriguez and Sergeant Menendez. Any questions?
I was just proud, wow.
So,
Use your mic.
when Sergeant, our Chief Aragus was here, he was looking for officers to come on. And, my understanding was he had offered a bonus to bring them on because other cities were, doing the same thing. And they were doing a little bit higher than what the city of Mapton was doing. And he offered them a $5,000 bonus, is my understanding. And, that is really lowballing because right now I believe Granger and Wapato or Toppenish, they're offering 10 to 15,000 bonus. So you want to go ahead and
Wait, I have a question though, just, why weren't we told of that? Doesn't sound like you even knew about it either.
well, Steve had brought it to my attention and he was supposed to have drawn up the paperwork and he was supposed to have reached out to the attorney. So as soon as he was going to do all that, then I would have got it to my hands. Since it was his call, he was hiring the officers.
But because we were hiring, nobody mentioned it at all.
Well,
Not even you, not even him, but you knew about it.
Well, he had brought it to my attention, but I told him that he needed to take care of it with the attorney. And so I don't know if he had, Julie, if he had spoke to you about it.
So he had spoke to me after, it's my understanding, he spoke to me after the offer had been made. And I have at this point seen the text exchange and former Chief Aragus has sent me an email confirming that he did offer these employees as an incentive to be employed with the police department, a bonus. Whether he should have or not. It was within his department budget in his mind. So he previously offered them. This may have been even before I actually started working with you guys because this was under Aragoose. But he made the offer. These employees accepted the offer. And so the right thing to do at this point is to, you know, is to ratify the offer. Otherwise, you might be looking at losing some qualified lateral officers. It's not ideal how this has played out. I agree, you probably should have seen an advertisement that showed it going out there, but as long as it's within his budget, you know, he can spend it on the personnel if that's the case. But in a perfect world, it would have come in front of you that you know, we're advertising for employees with a $5,000 signing bonus, although that is very common. Most departments now to get lateral officers are offering anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 for a lateral hire. So, so this is the resolution that just confirms that the city is authorized to pay that money to the officers.
So just so you, the council know that it was just offered to Chief Medelis and lateral officer Rodriguez. So for any other officers to be coming in, we will not be offering that. It was just a one-time thing and it will not go any, no, the sergeant would get the bonus. Oh, yeah, excuse me, the sergeant and Rodriguez. The chief will not, but it would just be a one-time thing with just these two officers. And that's it. So, anybody else who comes on after that.
But the
we're
one
not-
thing I do want to mention is that, yeah, this isn't something that's standard all the time where anybody we hire is gonna be $5,000 bonus. But in the future, if for some reason we are needing experienced officers, the process that I will follow is I will present it to the mayor, make sure we put it on an agenda to present it to the council so that I can explain why we're needing an officer or officers, whatever it may be. And then we can decide so that everybody is on the same page. Like, I mean, I'm not going to talk about Chief Aragoose. He's not here to defend himself and why he did what he did. I'm just saying that's probably the process it should have followed because it is an incentive pay. It's not something that's done for every officer, that it's not a standard practice for every officer that's hired. But in this case, talking to Chief Aragoose, they were trying to start up the department. He had 2 qualified lateral police officers that have experience, one 15 years and one 8, 9 years. And they could have gone somewhere else, but they chose to stay here. So that was what the conversation he and I do remember that he was saying he was going to write something up. And I don't know what happened with that.
Yeah,
That's not-
ideally, this would have had some type of initial signing component and a longevity component, but the documentation is just not clear enough to break it into 2 chunks. So 2,500 on hiring and 2,500 contingent on staying 6 months. So in this particular case, I think the safer approach is to award it all or approve it all as a signing bonus. But in the future, if we want to offer signing bonuses, maybe it's a signing and retention where it's a little bit upfront and more pending completion of additional employment. But again, I have seen the text exchange in writing. It was before the officers were hired. So you're covered from that standpoint in some ways from documentation. The concern is if you don't approve this, you may have officers that decide to leave because this was something that was promised to them as an incentive. And if they're not going to get it, they may not stay.
And let's just make clarification that text message wasn't from me, correct, Julie?
Correct. No,
Okay.
it was from the chief.
Thank you.
So he has it in his budget?
Yes, it's in the police budget. And it's a one-time thing unless, you know, like Chief Soto says, you know, if we do need more officers and we have the experienced officers, that'll be up to him, you know, and if he's looking for 8 years and up or 10 years and up for experience to be able to give a bonus than that.
Yeah, it'll never be an entry-level officer, incentive, never. It'll be because I need somebody that's experienced to help train because, you know, God forbid one of my officers leaves, you know, and I need somebody, well, I will bring it, take the steps that I just explained before any offers even made.
And it will be laterals, right?
Laterals only.
That's the first time I'm meeting.
So what was
Officer
going
Rodriguez.
right now?
Yeah, well,
Yes.
where did you come from?
The Port of Pasco?
You were working actively when you came here?
Yeah.
Cause like, he was working actively, he was not, correct?
Right, correct.
Yeah, so he wasn't even a lateral, but
No, he is a
No, he's
lateral because,
because
he's-
of his
because the
experience.
5 years wasn't up of.
well, yeah, because he doesn't have to, he still has academy, so he's still certified,
He's still certified,
Yes.
it's been over 5 years.
yes.
Do you have any questions, Diane?
I don't.
Sophie?
No, yeah, I said, well, just that, no, we need to be told that up front, not after the fact. But
Okay, Mary?
no.
Yeah, we need to be told in front, not after, not get phone calls. Well, I would like to meet Mr. Rodriguez.
Vera, do you have any questions?
Well, is it 1,000 for 5 years? So you'll be here with this 5 years?
So I'll be honest, I wanna, it's the reason I didn't leave, the mayor said, you know, everybody knew that, and I told the mayor, you know, as long as Steve was here, I was gonna stick around. Steve left and I says, nah, and Rodriguez and I sat down, we had a long conversation. And I came upon you guys and I asked you guys to hire our chief, you know, and my goal is not to leave. I mean, I wanna stay, I'm gonna stay here, and make a difference. I want to make a difference. Like I've told Steve and Rodriguez, is, you know, we're a little bit older. Eventually, my plan and the chief's plan is that guy there will eventually hopefully be your guys' next chief, or sergeant if I leave before the chief leaves. So, you know, in all actuality, he is eventually going to be your future. And that's what I want to leave. I don't want to leave and leave you guys hanging like, okay, like other chiefs and sergeants have done, like, there's nobody here. No, the day I leave, because I know somebody's ready to just step right in, and you guys aren't gonna have a hard time, you know, of having officers or having a chief or having a sergeant, you know, that is what I wanna do. Because someday, if I come back to Matt and say, hey, you did us good, you know, I want you guys to, you know, you did us good, you know, Sergeant Mattis, so. And I think we did good with the chief and with Omar, I think we're gonna, I'm pretty sure we were gonna do good with him too.
Yeah.
You know, so you guys are setting up, you know, you guys are set up not for 5 years from down the line. You guys are set up for 15, 20 years down the line here, you know, so that's what you guys are looking at. You're not looking at 2 years or 5 years. you
And
know.
your new officer, Rudy Guzman, I'm training him with all my experience. So when he comes back to the academy, he's gonna be ready to go.
Is he at the academy now?
No, not yet, but when he comes
Yeah,
back, he will be.
I don't know if I mentioned, he's, the earliest he's scheduled is August.
Yeah.
That's the
For him, it's
that's-
August.
Yeah, for
And
me,
for
it's in
you, it's
July.
July.
Unfortunately, I mean, chief wanted to get in earlier. We're like ASAP, and ASAP is not what,
Yeah, and I have to go to Burien, but,
Rudy's going to.
Rudy's, I got lucky enough, he's going to Pasco.
Is he on that $5,000 bonus also?
No.
it's only for laterals.
Just these two.
And you say 15 years, you willing to stick around? Could I see it in writing?
Medians on the panel.
So if I can get an approval of the resolution for 2025-12, authorizing the mayor to provide a hiring bonus in the amount of 5,000 to the existing lateral officer Rodriguez and Sergeant Medelis.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2025 dash. There's no numbers, Marty.
It's 12, right?
Well,
Yeah. It's right here.
oh, well. Authorizing the mayor to provide a hiring bonus in the amount of $5,000 to our 2 lateral officers, Rodriguez and Sergeant Medelis.
I have a motion by Sophie,
I second the motion.
second by Diana. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay, so before we end the
meaning,
I'm gonna ask a question. This, I know that the original agreement was 2,500 to start and then 2,500 after 6 months. We have 4 months and 3 months. Is that still, or is it gonna be lump sum?
It's lump sum. It's 5,000 lump sum at this point. There's just not the trail. And so it would look like wages earned or a bonus paid after working, which is not acceptable. So the fact that this offer was made in this amount prior to hiring, the lump sum is the safer way to go.
Great, that sounds good.
Okay, so with that being said, now we are gonna go ahead and introduce Officer Rodriguez. If you can come up to the front, please. We're gonna put you on the spot.
You bring cupcake?
I got the just for the occasion.
Is this it?
You wanna come up here? I
Here.
don't want to step down. But, last week was, Police Officer Appreciation Week,
Nice.
and we missed it.
Mm.
We were really busy, but, we wanna go ahead and honor you with the basket
Oh, nice.
that, Councilwoman Diana, Councilwoman Vera, Norma Martinez, Marty, and myself, we got together and we were able to make a basket.
Well, thank you so much.
Okay,
Thank you
there
so
you
much.
go.
that's what the council would not told me.
Well, I'm gonna go down the line here and shake everybody's hand.
It was nice to meet you.
Oh, hey. I didn't hear him.
Nice to meet you. That's Steve, about it, right there. Take it.
Okay, wanna go ready?
You have a key again? Okay. Ready?
Yeah.
Thank you so much for the gift. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. I'm never leaving.
Make sure we get one of those to you weekly, so that we.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much again.
Yes, and then here's a coffee for you at the building, next to the coffee shop.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself, Omar?
Okay, so I started here as a police reserve. Yeah, under Perales. Way back in the day.
Long time ago.
Then I went to Granger, and I worked over there for 5 years, then I went over to Pasco. I went back to Granger. And then the Port of Pasco, and then here I am. So it'll be 15 years in August, in law enforcement. So
Nice.
it goes by quick.
Welcome back to Napkin then.
Thanks.
Thank you, Officer Rodriguez.
You're welcome.
And glad to have you on board. I can have you come up. Rudy. Officer Guzman. So last week was Officer Appreciation Week, and, we missed it. We've had a lot going on in the office, but we, presented the baskets earlier this week to, the chief and sergeant, so we have a basket for you. And, we want to present it to you, and for all your work and efforts that you're out there, in the city. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
And can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
What do you want to know?
Where you got started and
I grew up in Zilla, started reserving with Zilla in 2010. Went to the West Side, reserved over there for a while, then moved back. Didn't know what I wanted to do, so I went into work for Simplot, and then I went back and reserved with YSO, and went from there to work with Animal Control at Union Gap, and then went to Juvie, and knew that wasn't where I wanted to stay.
He wasn't in Juvie.
I'm looking at juvenile correction officer.
that didn't have to deal.
No, so I went there and then that, my wife and I had a serious conversation, and she pretty much told me that's not where I don't feel like you need to be. You need to be on the road. And so,
Listen.
I did. She actually passed away last year, so I came out and talked to Eric Goose, and he put me on. So we're going here, training with Omar, and hopefully I'm learning a lot. And so
How many years have you been in law enforcement altogether?
So since 2009. So it'll be 16 years, maybe. So anywhere from reserving to, anywhere from reserves, just reserves. I was never full-time anywhere. Just full-time at the juvenile corrections, so. And I figured I'd come out and help, I helped them in there, and a lot of them were from the lower valley, Sunnyside, Granger. I think I had maybe one from Hampton or two, but a lot of them were from the lower valley, and I live in the lower valley, so. I wanna come and help out here now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Rudy. Glad
Yep.
to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you to all our officers. Ricky, thank you.
Sharing is caring.
No, I was gonna just mention is that, Sergeant Medeles and I interviewed a gentleman today for the other spot that the other young guy didn't, make it through. But, he's actually a local guy. His name is Jose Navarro. And, he seems like he's gonna be a good candidate. He's actually related to, Commander Gusby. So, we'll see how it goes. We're crossing our fingers. He's gonna be doing his PAT test, his physical training test on Wednesday, just to make sure he can pass that. Cause you have to pass that to even be able to attend the academy, or else you can't even attend, so. Yeah, just.
What's his age?
I think, I didn't ask him, you know, we can't ask him in the interviews, so. I would say he's in his 30s.
30
Yeah.
something.
Have we got any of the new vehicles yet?
Yeah, we
Oh,
did.
we did?
Yeah, they're right outside the
Yeah,
door.
see ya.
If you wanna take a
So
look at them.
really quick, if I can get the two officers, in the office down next door, we want to get your picture. We haven't posted any pictures yet. So we want to get you and maybe in front of the vehicle, in front of the city hall, all for you. Oh, you're not in your uniform, but you can stand in the back.
Yeah. I don't have
But no, I want to thank y'all, you guys, we've heard a lot of good things. I have heard a lot of good things about that, the officers out there. That, hey, los policías andan dando tickets. So that's good. It's good that you guys are out there and, I know at first it was just kind of like giving breaks, but now they're getting tickets. So,
Since we got the new vehicles, I wanted to say something about the old vehicles before you post them. We don't have staff vehicles, so couldn't we keep a couple of those for the staff vehicles?
Marty had mentioned that to me today, and,
We're only gonna get $1,000 for them, or 500, might as well just keep it for staff vehicles.
that's something you guys can decide on your own. I mean, but the one, like I said, you'd have to work on it to try to make it safe for you, for staff. Because
That's the one that turns off.
his is the one that turns off, and mine's the one that after a speed.
Or something.
Yeah, we're gonna help, Sunnyside out on a high, incident, and, it shut off. And then it turned back on, like, while we're coasting, it turned back on.
So it's gonna need work, and it may be more work than the actual vehicle is worth.
Not chasing anybody, but.
Yeah. And then the one that I drive, it shakes at, after about 70, but the other thing is when you're sitting idle, the exhaust fumes just come inside the cab,
We'll keep looking. Chief, I know that.
So,
Just look for one.
I just don't think it would be
I don't want
comfortable for staff.
Yeah, because you.
I'm willing to deal with it, I don't care, that's fine right now, but I don't think for you guys be something.
Remember the white car that we used to have, Vera? We used to use that to go
But
to.
we did go clear to Seattle Olympian.
Oh, no, I mean,
Oh,
for
that's,
staff. and-
oh, just
yeah,
around,
yeah, so
oh,
this is a
okay.
Like for
open-
public works,
Yeah,
you mean?
open, and I just drove that to the top.
I mean, I could leave it there,
Yes, I-
until it doesn't run anymore, but like I said, putting money into it would be probably more than what those vehicles are worth. So,
No, we'll keep looking, Chief.
It's up to
We've
you
been
guys.
keeping our eye out. No, Joe has also. So as soon as we find something, we'll bring it. Okay, with that, we're gonna go ahead and adjourn the meeting at 6:22. Thank you, Julie.
Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you.
Have a nice night, you guys.
Have a good evening. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. Be safe.
Weekend, guys, everybody.
Yeah.
They did?
Oh.